Hey guys, Vince May. Join me for a rustic homemade smoking experience. All right, come with me on this journey on how we do a homemade smoking gig. Got into smoking while I was in Canada and spoke to my brother. He's quite a handyman. I said, this is the general idea of how smoking works and can you make a smoker for me? So he just threw some together. We've done a few briskets and pork bellies on it, and it actually comes out amazing. But wait for it. You want to see what the smoker looks like. It's nothing like you see in the stores. Follow me. There it is. So literally what it is if you recognize that, it's actually half a hot water tank, or geyser in South Africa, right? I know in some countries a geyser is an old man, but it's a half a water tank. What he's done, even this, look, this is from shelving, and this is his tongs. So the fire goes in there. This is just a shield, so you're not getting direct heat onto the meat. Just these iron bars to keep the grid on. Right, see the tongs work really well. Nothing fancy. Now, it's not like we can't afford this stuff. It's just my brother loves making stuff. Now, you want to know how the smoker works. There's the lid. He's made holes. It's actually zinc, right? He's riveted the corners in, and then I added a temperature gauge. That goes on there, right? Now also what you can see, it's sitting at an angle because it's on bricks. I need the smoke and the heat to go from there and travel up and out the ventilation. Believe me, it works really, really well. Hey guys, Vince May here. So I got into smoking meats, that is, in Canada. And then when I came to South Africa, I was like, I want to introduce smoking to the family. I want to try it out. The smokers are super expensive. It's not like we can't afford it. We can go buy it, but my brother's an incredible handyman, and I gave him the general idea, and he goes, well, he can make something like that. So we've made a few briskets, we've made pork bellies. It's come out incredible. But you got to see the smoker though. You want to see it? Okay, follow me. Literally what it is, you know what a geyser is, or a hot water tank? Some of you might recognize that piece. It's half a water tank, right? The tongs, this is from shelving. He just bent it over. Works really, really well. Now, if I remove that, it's got these iron bars just to keep the grid on there. This is a shield that he just bent so that there's no direct heat onto the meat. Okay, and this is where we put the coals, we put the smoke, and all the meat will go on the top here, which you'll see in a bit. Now, you want to know what the lid looks like. Okay, so we've got a geyser, hot water tank, and I know in some places geyser is a old man. This is how we cover it up. There it is right there. It's a piece of zinc that he's cut, bent together, riveted. The handles are made of wood so you're not burning yourself. And then I put in a temperature gauge. That's really important. Now we'll put it on and we'll see how this works. Pretty straightforward. Now what you'll notice is it's sitting at an angle. Why? Because it's on bricks. I need the hot air and the smoke to come up there and travel up and out the ventilation. So we're going to put this to work today, show you what we've done. We've got a bunch of pork bellies that we're going to smoke. We've got a beef brisket as well. We've got some family coming over later, so that's why we're making a ton and we're sending them home with some smoked meats. You want to know what I marinated meat with? Stick around. What I've got here for the smoking is, this is wine barrel wood, and then bay leaves, and then also these are the stalks from the bay leaves. So it's been soaking for almost about 20 minutes. I'm going to throw that on the fire, and that's my flavor that I'm using for today. Okay, the wood chips, there's some bay leaves. This piece here is a bay leaf twig. I'm grabbing a bunch of everything on there. Oh, that's already starting to smell really, really good. I think bay leaves just might be my next favorite flavoring for smoking. I'm going to close it up and get the temperature up. Look, I know the fancy smokers are pretty well sealed and all that stuff, but you know what? I'm getting really, really good results out of this. I don't feel I need a super fancy smoker. We'll see by the end of today what kind of results I get. Right now, there's our temperature, and I'm going to wait for it to get up to about 150. I'll talk about the marinade in a bit. Let me just show you what the meat looks like. It's been marinating for almost 12 hours. So there's our brisket. It's got a rub on it. It's just a bunch of different spices that I threw on. These are pork ribs, pork belly with the fat on it. As you can see, we've scored it as well. And yeah, it looks like the flavor's gone right into that. What a really nice smell. Okay, so the brisket's going to take long, so I'm going to put that closer to the fire. Those are huge pork bellies, eh? Wow. Here's our second one. Huge, eh? We did a little riblet. See how that comes out. Here's another one of our pork bellies. Smaller, scored, slightly different flavoring on there. As you can see, the sauce isn't as dark as the other because I used a thicker soya sauce. We're almost at 170. Just give you an idea how I've packed it. How's that, eh? Looks really good. I'll put the brisket on the front because it's pretty thick, so it needs a little more heat. I've just got a little bit of chunks cooking on the side, and I'm going to give those to the pups. But yeah, how does that look? Pretty good. This is how my brothers sealed it. So we got to make sure that the edges are covering each side. It doesn't really matter about this side because most of the smoke is all going out that way. As you can see, got a bit of wind blowing it, but heat still travels up. So while my brother Chris is filming there, he says we need to put weight on it, and just to seal it better. There we go. How's that for a homemade job? Okay, 2:15, and we're gonna leave it there for about 2 hours. Well, obviously we're gonna keep putting chips on every, say, 45 minutes or so. Righty, so it's cooling down a little, and this is after an hour. What I want to do is throw some really hot charcoal on there. There's two kinds of coal we're using here. Got this coal, right, or we call it briquettes, and this light wood stuff. Not good. This stuff burns way too fast. This stuff really holds the heat. Okay, using our custom tongs, we're just going to lift this bread over. Now those are the kind of coals we want. So we've thrown a little more wood on there. Leave these coals on because those will need these, they'll actually keep the heat. Throw a bit more. Oh, this is smelling really good. If you have a look, this is starting to cook first because it's closer to the heat, but that's good. That's what I want. I really want this fat to start cooking off first, instead of burning the meat. I guess that's the only thing, you got to kind of work things around this barbecue. Well, it's a barbecue homemade smoker. Let's close her up and leave her for another hour and a half or so. One of the downfalls to this particular homemade smoker is that once you take that lid off, you lose all that heat. So you can see we're starting from scratch again. Got to wait for it to get up to 225. As you can see, literally within 3-4 minutes, right, the temperature's back up to where we need it. Hopefully it stays there. Keep an eye on it. Right, it's almost been an hour. It's sitting at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, it's starting to look really good. And leaves. The other thing we want to do is get some more coals on there because we're going to barbecue with this later on. So get those nice and hot. Woo, look at that. So definitely I think this rib is done. Oh yeah, that's done for sure. You can kind of hear it sizzling as well. You can see it bubbling right there. See it bubbling there as well. So I'm definitely going to finish this off on the fire. I'm going to spread the coals a little. What I should do actually is burn a little bit of this fat, like that. There we go. Oh yeah, nice. Pork skin, you really got to watch that. It burns very quick. A lot of people like that crackly skin, and to get that crackly skin, sure, you really got to watch it. Got to continuously move it around. As soon as it starts bubbling, you know that it's at the right temperature. So I'm going to try the small piece really quick. This I'm taking off. So I just tented the brisket. I'm going to flip this over. It's on there, causing a bit of a flame. You never want your pork to burn either. I'm going to take this all off, just wrap it up. It'll carry on cooking for a bit, and then I'm going to throw it back on the barbecue just to finish off. Oh, it's heavy, there's a lot of meat. I'm going to convert this to a barbecue now. Take off that grill. I'll just put it on the side. Remove the shield. And then just spread those coals over. Yeah. Just throw it in here for me, please, on this side. Just sprinkle in.
Like how many?
Just, yeah, all that.
On a way.
What I've done here is we put all the barbecued meat back on, move the coals over, put the shield back in the middle here, and then threw a whole lot of bay leaves just to smoke, get that bay leaf smoked flavor onto the barbecued meat. And we'll leave it there for maybe about 3 or 4 minutes. So, going to give you an idea of what we did here. Woo. There's the shield. Right, we put all the meat back on. There's still a little bit of heat here. We moved most of the coal over to this side. Threw in a bunch of bay leaves that the smoke is coming from. Oh, and you can see this meat is actually starting to burn a little because that fire is hot. But what I'm trying to achieve is to get a nice smoky bay leaf flavor onto all the meat here. Oi, behind you. So this is the brisket. Look how juicy that is still. Came out really, really good. 2 pork bellies. This one we didn't crisp the skin, but look at the glisten in that fat there. Then these ones are left on a bit longer to crisp the skin. That's nice, and listen to that. Tasty. All the families here, but look at that brisket. Wow, that is really, really juicy.